What's going on, Faded Culture? My name is Sergio Barron, and today I'm gonna show y'all how to cut your boyfriend or your husband, side dude, whatever, at home. Clearly, this is not my boyfriend, but y'all get the hint. You know, if y'all at home and y'all just don't want, y'all going on a date and y'all don't want to have y'all's boyfriend looking scruffy, y'all could just give him a haircut really quick without him having to go to the barbershop. So with that being said, let's just jump right into it. Alright guys, so before we begin, you're gonna need your trimmer, your clipper with the lever, your guard sets, a comb, and a brush. I'm gonna leave all the tools listed in the description for y'all to check out. Here I'm gonna lay down my first guideline starting at the temple peak point of the hairline, and then just make sure that this first initial line slants as we reach the back of the head, and then just make sure that it ends up in the same position from where we started but on the opposite side. And before moving forward, make sure this first guideline is as even as possible. Then I'm gonna go ahead and grab the clipper, open the lever all the way fully open, and then I'm gonna set in my next guideline coming up about a pinky finger in width from the previous line. Just take your time using not too soft but not too hard strokes on the head. And when y'all purchase any clippers at WAHL.com, make sure you use Faded Culture 10 for a 10% discount at checkout. But yeah guys, just make sure that the clipper that you do purchase has a lever. Next, you're going to want to go ahead and throw on the number 1 guard, still leaving this lever in that fully open position. And then just like before, we're going to come up about another finger width in space, about a ½ inch in space also. And then just make sure that this line runs parallel from that previous line that we had initially set in. Now once you're done with that guard, go ahead and throw on the 1.5 clip, still leaving that lever open. And here I'm not so much worried about setting another guideline. I'm focusing now on blending the rest of this bulk onto the top of the hair. For reference, I'm using this comb to show you the direction that I'm gonna take the clipper. As you see, I'm flaring it out towards the outside, and I don't want to do this right here because if you take the clipper inwards in this area that rounds, you're gonna take off too much length in these areas, and it's just gonna make the fade appear too high, and it's not gonna look good. So just make sure that you're flicking out, coming up about maybe a ½ inch in space from where you were previously. Next, we're gonna grab the number 2 guard, still with that lever fully open, and we're gonna do the exact same thing that we did with the 1.5 clip, but with the 2 guard. And again, we're just coming up about a ½ inch in space, flaring out that clipper and making sure we're blending out that top bulk on the head. We're just trying to connect the side length to the top in a smooth manner. And when you're setting in these guidelines, make sure you use your comb continuously to comb the hair back down to its natural position. Then we're gonna grab the number 3 guard, still with that lever open, and again guys, just coming up about another ½ inch in space. And with this guard, I'm gonna just try to finish connecting the side length to the top. So again, just make sure that you're flaring out that clipper and not digging in too much to the top. And for the top length, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it as is. He had about a number 10 guard on top, but he wanted to keep that length, so we went ahead and left it. But now you should be left with these two guidelines right here, the one on top and the one at the bottom. We're gonna start by blending out the uppermost guideline and then work our way down to the bottom. For the top one, we're gonna start with this half clip, and I'm gonna position the lever at 3/4. And all it is between halfway and fully open. So just open it all the way and then just close it a tad bit, and then just start blending out that top guideline, just crossing it, moving up and down about a ½ inch in space until you start seeing it blending out. If you can tell, I'm using more so the corner of the clipper, and this just kind of helps me get in there in a more detailed fashion so I could blend out this guideline in a more controlled manner. And as you see this little dark area above, don't go ahead and chase it with this guard. We'll come back with the higher guard to finish blending it out. So just focus on blending out the initial start of this guideline. And next, I'm gonna go ahead and throw on the number 1 guard, and I'm gonna still leave that lever in that 3/4 position. And then I'm gonna just continue blending out whatever that half guard didn't take out. As you see right here, this little dark area, that's what I'm gonna finish blending out with this clip. And again, just using the corner of the clippers to just kind of help you control how much hair you're taking out at a time. And again guys, all the tools I left down in the description, so under this video where it says show more, you'll be able to see the links to all the tools that I am using in this video. And now here we're pretty much left with this first initial guideline that we set in. Since it is going to take me 3 lever positions to blend out, I'm going to focus on just a small area at a time, starting with that clipper lever fully closed. And again, you see here I'm barely crossing over that line where it starts. Blend out a little, then I open the lever halfway, continue blending a tad bit higher from where we started. And then from here, all I'm gonna do is open the lever fully open, and by this point it should be really minimal what you're taking out, but you're just kind of fine tuning and just kind of looking for any little dark areas that need to be smoothed out. And then once you're done with one area, go ahead and just move back on the fade, maybe about 2 to 3 inches in space at a time. And this is just so that you don't get overwhelmed when it comes to taking out this first initial guideline, since it does take 3 lever positions to blend out. But again, just start with the clipper lever closed, then you move it halfway and then fully open as you gradually move up on that line. And little by little you'll start seeing that line blend out. And then go ahead and just continue the process until you reach the opposite side of the head and that line is blended out as clean as possible. And also guys, I have the steps in written format as well in the description for y'all to go ahead and follow along that way if y'all like. And try not to rush the process, take your time when doing all of these steps guys. In the beginning it could get overwhelming, so just kind of focus, take your time, follow these steps one by one, and little by little you'll just get better. In the beginning it's all about just kind of building that muscle memory with the tools. And then once you're done blending out that initial guideline, you can go ahead and return with your trimmers and start taking out the rest of the bottom of the hair. Make sure you get really detailed behind the ears guys. Sometimes I've seen people leave hairs behind those ears, and that will determine if this is a good haircut or not. Alright guys, so now that the fade is pretty much done, this part is optional. Some of y'all may not want to do a lineup in the front. Maybe y'all's boyfriend, husband don't trust y'all enough yet to do a lineup, but if they do trust y'all, take a step back, kind of look at the middle of his forehead and kind of determine where that lineup is going to be. So you can just kind of stay at the very tips of the lineup. And then the idea here is just to kind of make a straight line flowing across his forehead as straight as possible. So make sure you're continuously taking a step back and with gentle motions, just setting in that line as straight as possible across the forehead. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the edge up part. I'm gonna go ahead and style the top of it by adding a little bit of our Faded Culture matte clay. Guys, y'all can find all our stuff like tools and products at fadedculture.com. We also have a bunch of t-shirts, hats, stuff like that. I'm gonna just apply a little bit of this over the top so that it can lay down any little frizz that he has above sticking up. That's pretty much it. Make sure your husband pays you, or your boyfriend. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for this ball fade tutorial. I hope y'all were able to learn something from it. If y'all did, please let me know down in the comments. And also, I'm gonna be going ahead and doing a giveaway. So for anybody that follows these steps, go ahead and tag me on Instagram so I can see y'all's results. And I'm gonna go ahead and choose maybe like 3 winners. And I'm gonna go ahead and gift y'all some of our Faded Culture products and also maybe a shirt and a hat in case y'all messed up the haircut or whatever. Also, let me know what other tutorial I'd like to see on this channel so I can maybe go ahead and put it out for the next video. But with that being said guys, my name is Sergio Barron. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.